Hey everyone, it's Damon here. I was chatting with my buddy Mike recently. His kid was having a tough time, regular teenage stuff. Mike was really worried and felt lost about what to do. It got me thinking about how we all deal with family problems sometimes. But here's the interesting part. Mike and his family found a way to completely change things. And wow, it was pretty incredible. I'm excited to tell you more about what happened to them. Their story might change how you look at family challenges. Hey guys and gals, it's Damon again. Let's talk about something real. Being a kid these days is tough. You're 15, trying to figure out who you are, and social media is always there, showing you these perfect-looking lives. It's hard not to compare yourself. Pressure comes from everywhere. School's tough with all the tests and homework. You're trying to fit in with friends. Maybe your parents are fighting, or a grandparent is sick. It's a lot to deal with. The effects are serious. My psychologist friend told me something that shocked me. Teen depression rates have jumped 60% in the last 10 years. That's not just a number. It's real kids and families going through hard times. And these problems don't just go away when you grow up. Young adults have their own struggles, finding jobs, paying off student loans, figuring out relationships. Many feel lost and unsure about what's next. It's worrying. We've got young people feeling anxious and down, not knowing where they fit in. This affects everything, their mental health, relationships, work, and future. But I didn't come here to bring you down. There's hope, and it might surprise you. Remember Mike's story from earlier? That's just the start. We're about to look at something that's been helping families for years, but in a new way. It's not some fancy cure or complicated therapy. It's something simple but powerful that you might already know. Trust me, you'll want to hear this. Okay, I've got something amazing to share with you. We all want to help our kids, right? Well, there's this simple thing that can make a huge difference. It's prayer. Now, don't think I've gone all preachy on you. There's some cool research behind this. A Harvard guy, Dr. Tyler Vander Weele, did a big study on prayer in kids. He found that kids who pray regularly are 16% happier as adults. Plus, when kids have this spiritual connection, it helps them avoid drugs and other risky stuff. But it's not just for kids. Prayer's like a family superpower. Researchers from Brigham Young University looked at all kinds of families, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, you name it. They found that praying together brings families closer and helps them talk better. I know some of you are thinking, that's fine for religious folks, but what about the rest of us? Well, it's not just about religion. It's about taking a moment to connect, be grateful, and think about others. It's like a quick break from all the crazy stuff in life. There's even research showing prayer can help with forgiveness. A psychologist named Frank Fincham did a study where people prayed for their partners. Turns out they became more willing to forgive them. It's like prayer helps you see the big picture. I'm not saying prayer will fix everything. Life's still going to be tough sometimes, but it's like having an extra tool to deal with all the stuff life throws at you. So, what do you think? Maybe it's worth a try. If it could make your family happier and closer, why not give it a shot? Alright, let's dive deeper into this prayer thing. There's a lot going on when you pray that you might not realize. Think about it. When you pray, you're hitting pause on all the crazy stuff in your life. It's like stepping off a wild roller coaster and taking a deep breath. You're connecting with something bigger than yourself, beyond all the day-to-day drama. And here's the cool part. When you pray, you're often thinking about other people too. Maybe your family, friends, or even strangers. It's like you're exercising your empathy, You're learning to care about more than just your own problems. I was chatting with this smart guy, Kevin L. Ladd, and he told me something interesting. He said when people pray, They focus on the good stuff in their relationships. Prayer helps you see the bright side, even when things are tough. Get this, prayer does some pretty cool things to your brain too. Some researchers looked at people's brains while they were praying. They found that prayer lights up the parts that help you control your emotions and feel for others. It's like a workout for your brain and heart at the same time. Prayer can have some big long-term benefits too. It's like a tool to help you deal with life's ups and downs. You know, when things get really tough and you feel alone, well, prayer can help with that. It gives you a sense of peace, like you've got someone in your corner. And here's another cool thing. When you pray, you're not just connecting with something bigger. You're also connecting with other people. It's like a shared experience that brings folks together. Maybe it's your family, church group, or just you and a friend. There's something special about praying together. So next time you're stressed or overwhelmed, why not try praying? It doesn't have to be fancy. Just take a moment to step back, breathe, and connect with something bigger than yourself. You might be surprised how much it helps. Hey everyone, it's Damon again. Remember Mike, the guy I mentioned at the start? His family story is pretty amazing, and I've got to share it with you. Mike and his family decided to try praying together every night. Nothing fancy, just a few minutes before bed. At first it was awkward. The kids rolled their eyes, and Mike stumbled over his words. But after a few weeks, things changed. The whole atmosphere in their house shifted. Mike told me they started really talking to each other. Not just, how was your day? Well, fine. They were listening and sharing things they'd never shared before. Even their arguments changed. You know how family fights can get, right? All heated and loud. But in Mike's house, things got calmer. They still disagreed. They're family after all, but they handled it better. More understanding, less shouting. Here's something cool. There's research backing this up. A study found that families who pray together have 30% higher relationship satisfaction. That's a big deal. If you could make your family 30% happier just by praying together each day, wouldn't you try it? It reminds me of what my friend, a family counselor, always says. The key to a strong family isn't never having problems, it's how you face those problems together. That's what prayer did for Mike's family. It helped them come together, even when things were tough. Now let's talk about how praying together helps families in the long run. It's not just a quick fix. It's like planting seeds for a strong family tree. It gives kids tools they'll use their whole lives. And isn't that what we all want for our families? Alright, let's talk about what happens to these prayer-powered kids when they grow up. It's pretty amazing stuff. Remember how we said kids who pray are happier? Well, that's just the start. These kids make some seriously good choices as they get older. It's like they got this built-in GPS for life. They're avoiding a lot of the risky stuff out there. Check this out. Research shows these prayer kids are 30% less likely to start having sex too young and 40% less likely to catch STIs. That's some serious protection, but it's not all about avoiding risks. These kids are actually thriving in all sorts of ways. They're more likely to volunteer and help out in their communities. They're better at forgiving people too. I think we could all use more forgiveness these days. Here's something cool. Researchers at Brigham Young University found that these young adults who grew up praying are 40% more likely to feel like they've got a mission in life. Can you imagine that? Knowing what you're here for? That's pretty powerful. It's like prayer gives these kids an inner compass. When life gets tough or confusing, they've got this guide inside them. It helps them navigate all the crazy stuff life throws at them. These prayer-powered kids grow up to be amazing adults. They're happier. They're making better choices. They're helping others. They've got this solid foundation that's helping them build incredible lives. So what do you think? Pretty powerful, right? Who wouldn't want to give their kids this kind of advantage? It's like we're setting them up for success in ways we never imagined. And all it takes is a little prayer. Makes you think, doesn't it? So, we've been talking about all these amazing benefits of prayer, right? But I know what some of you are thinking. Damon, this sounds great, but how do we actually make this happen? I get it. It's not like we can just snap our fingers and become a perfect praying family. But here's the good news. You don't have to be perfect. It's all about taking small steps. So how do we start? It's simpler than you might think. Maybe begin with a quick thanks before dinner or a quiet moment before bed. The key is to make it feel natural, to find a way that fits your family. You don't need fancy words, just keep it real. Here's something cool. Families who pray together for just 5 minutes a day see big improvements in how they talk and feel close. And we're talking about seeing changes within a month. Pretty amazing, right? Prayer can be as simple as sharing what you're thankful for or talking about your hopes for tomorrow. It's about making a space where everyone can open up. Some of the best talks happen during these times. I talked to an expert who said something interesting. She told me prayer can help families figure out what's really important to them. It's like it helps you focus on the big stuff, you know? Now, I know some of you might worry about feeling silly or your kids not being into it. That's okay. It's fine to start small. Maybe just share one thing you're grateful for each day, or write little notes to each other. The important thing is to start somewhere. This is all about bringing your family closer, making bonds that last. So ready to give it a try? I promise. The benefits are worth it. You might be surprised at how much it changes your family for the better. Wow, we've been on quite a journey, haven't we? We've talked about the challenges our kids face, the power of prayer, and how it can transform families. It's pretty amazing stuff, right? You know, there's something special about taking a moment to connect with something bigger than yourself. It's like hitting pause on life's craziness, and it can really make a difference in your relationships too. So here's what I want you to do. Start small. Maybe say a quick thanks before dinner, or take a quiet moment before bed. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just give it a try. I really think this could be a game changer for your family. Are you ready to make prayer part of your day? Trust me, you won't regret it. Stay blessed by the best.